Hi, my name is Busi. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to cover a cake board and a cake with sugar paste. So knead your sugar paste on the surface. Once it's nice and soft and pliable and there is no creases on it, you can start rolling it. I only add icing sugar on the surface, but never on my sugar paste because this can dry it out. So keep on rolling it, turning it while you roll. Keep turning it. I only roll twice and turn. Put icing sugar underneath if you need to. Roll twice and turn. This will keep the round shape. I always measure my icing as well. I use a piece of ribbon for the cake just to measure the diameter of the cake and the diameter of the icing. If it's the same size, then I know it's the right size. Take my rolling pin, roll my icing over the rolling pin and bring my cake into view, and then place my icing over the cake. Just to start off with, I use a smoother on top. Keep on smoothing this area until there's no bubbles and it's nice and smooth. Then you go on to do the sides. So just start from the top, rubbing it gently while lifting the pleats. If you don't lift these pleats, you end up with creases. So gently take your time, lift the pleats as you smooth. I am not pulling the icing at all, so just gently patting the icing for it to stick to the cake underneath. Keep on doing this until all the cake is covered. And make sure you do not overhandle your cake. Once it's stuck to the cake, that's enough. Then you don't have to touch your cake again. Smooth with a smoother over the top. And get two smoothers. Now I'm pressing the icing onto the cake quite firmly so that it sticks to the cake. If you don't do this, normally while you're trying to smooth the cake, it starts to move. So once all the icing is stuck onto the sides of the cake, you take a knife, a sharp knife, trim off the excess right close to the cake so that you can have that nice clean cut at the bottom. Remove the excess and throw it away. Continue with smoothing. I'm using the smooth edge on one side. One smoother could just be for me to support the cake because I don't want to hold the cake with my hands and while the other one is doing the work. If you only have one, then you can just use one while holding onto the cake board while you're smoothing your cake. Once it's kind of nice and neat, then you're ready to flip your cake. Put some parchment paper and a cake board and then just make some space and turn the cake upside down onto the surface. Okay, remove the board from underneath, then you start smoothing. Now I'm using the smoother with both sides, curved both sides. So this smoother is quite good because it will push the icing down. Therefore, you will have that sharp edge on the top of the cake. So keep on smoothing, gently easing the icing up and down until it reaches the bottom of the cake. Keep on smoothing, keep on turning. I'm using the parchment paper. It's not stuck to the board, so I'm using it to turn the cake as I smooth it. So keep on smoothing until you're happy with how your cake is looking. If you've got excess icing that's showing or bulging at the bottom of the cake, you can actually trim this off with a knife to create a very sharp edge and just remove it so that it doesn't get stuck. Then keep on smoothing. I love this black smoother that's got a straight angle at the bottom, a 90-degree angle. I use this to smooth even more. That will help with that sharp edge at the bottom. So keep on smoothing until you're happy. If you find any bubbles, I use a pin to pop the bubbles to release the air and then continue smoothing. Make sure the prick you do there is not too deep. So continue smoothing. I'll go back with my white one. This stage takes quite long. And then take a knife, trim off the excess just flush with the cake board. And then I'm cutting it in as I cut so that it doesn't damage the outside. Trim off the excess. That's it. Now to cover the cake board, just spray it with oil. Roll out your sugar paste until it's big enough to cover your cake board. And then simply just lift it off over your cake board. Smooth it with your hands or a smoother. And then lift the cake board and trim off with a sharp knife on the edges. Just go around until it's completely trimmed. Use a smoother to perfect it. So I need a 6-inch, so I don't need all the icing all over the board. It's a waste. So I trim off the center and then get rid of that. And then simply lift off my cake board over my upside down cake. Make sure it's all centered. Turn your cake upside down again. Remove the parchment paper and the cake board. And voila! You can add your ribbon on the cake board at the bottom to make it neat, and then another piece of ribbon on the cake as well. I use just non-toxic paper glue to glue the other piece of ribbon on top of the other. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Next week I'll show you how to pipe and paint this design with gold luster dust. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Learn more at cakesandsugarcraftsupplies.com.